The only problem Daim said to me was that in dealing with Anwar, dia kata Anwar tak suka baca. So, dia kata Anwar tak suka baca. So reports, you have to read. And you don't read just economic reports from Malaysia. You have to read geopolitical reports. What is happening satu dunia tu ada impact because we are exporting economy also kan. So you have to know. And Daim sampai I think towards the last year belum dia really sakit tu lah, he was reading all the economic reports, So that was one of the problems that he had lah, that he said doesn't read enough. But only one time dia kata bila Anwar jadi Deputy Prime Minister, dia cakap kat Anwar, dia kata you now Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister. The Ministry of Finance is not a part-time job. He said, you need full-time concentration. You are now Deputy Prime Minister, you jalan sini, pisana sini. You have to give this up to somebody. Because, macam Daim dulu, malam pun dia, looking at the markets. And masa dia kata, I think it's not a part-time job. Masa tu Anwar melenting and said, he was very angry. He think, I ingat hang seorang yang pandai ke?
Tapi tu baru gaduh manja lah, belum gaduh besar.
They were still friends. So memang like Daim dengan him still had the relationship. So Daim would help lah, whatever that he needed. The only problem Daim said to me was that in dealing with Anwar, dia kata Anwar tak suka baca. So dia kata Anwar tak suka baca. So reports, you have to read. And you don't read just economic reports from Malaysia. You have to read geopolitical reports. What is happening satu dunia tu ada impact because we are exporting economy also kan. So you have to know. And Daim sampai I think towards the last year belum dia really sakit tu lah, he was reading all the economic reports, So that was one of the problems that he had lah, that he said doesn't read enough. But otherwise, anytime Anwar tanya, he'll be there, helping.
Kita nak pergi ke Rapture ke je?
Yeah, I think kita kena pergi ke Rapture now. Jun 1998.
So specific the date.
Sebab apa Toh Puan, saya baca sejarah Tun Daim. Ada yang saya tahu, ada yang saya baca untuk buat persiapan untuk episod kali ni. Saya nampak dia dipanggil oleh Tun Mahathir bila ada masalah.
Betul.
The first time ada kegawatan dia dipanggil. Lepas tu bila semua dah elok dia caw. Lepas tu Asian financial crisis. Dan saya boleh kata it was not just a financial crisis, it was a political crisis also.
True.
Sebab Rapture ni bukan hanya krisis kewangan dan krisis ekonomi. It was also a political crisis, which is the downfall of Datuk Seri Anwar.
Betul.
First round. Jun 1998, Tun Daim kembali, not first as finance minister, as menteri tugas-tugas khas.
Betul.
Basically enforcer lah, in charge of the National Economic Action Council, NEAC pada waktu itu.
Betul.
Sebab Tun Mahathir buat keputusan yang berani untuk tambat nilai ringgit dan untuk sekat capital controls that Anwar didn't do lah. Anwar lebih kepada formula IMF pada masa itu. That was the intellectual policy disagreement that led to the fallout of the political side as well. For other reasons lah. For other reasons yang tak perlu kita sekarang. Sebelum kita pergi kat situ, what was he doing then? Where were you when he got the call?
When Dr. Mahathir asked Tun Daim, Dr. Mahathir asked Daim come back. Masa tu I think Daim buat NEAC first.
Sebelum NEAC.
Oh, this was before NEAC. Yeah. Before
the crisis. What was he doing? Where were you? What was he doing?
Daim went back to business. So masa tu he made the decision that he was not going to do business in Malaysia. Terlampau banyak soalan and then tuduhan lah, kroni ke apa tak tahu lah. So he didn't want to do. So we were in 91, 92, we were in US also. Daim was at the Kennedy School. I was at the law school. And then first we were looking, but he already had investments overseas. So a lot of times we were doing market buying, selling shares and things like that lah. And then after that we travel, then we also beli assets yang Daim always cheap assets you buy and then you sell, buy low, sell high kan. And then so he decided that because he was not going to do business in Malaysia, then we have to do business overseas. What is the thing that he loves so much? Banking. That's right. And he loved Africa. Oh, he loved Africa.
Yeah.
So we went into Eastern Europe and then we went into Africa. But we went yang modal tu tak banyak sangat. Like macam Eastern Europe, masa tu you want to get a license is about 800,000 US kot. Tak sampai 1 million. And then when we went to Africa also, tak mahal. So we were opening banks everywhere. But macam like South Africa at that time, kalau you nak buka, it's 25 million US. So we don't go. It's too much. Kan? So we had, masa tu, banks kat Eastern Europe, banks in Africa, banks in Asia, banks, South America and North America we don't have. So the business was growing. And so we were doing business overseas mostly.
And family life then?
So bila Dr. Mahathir kata ask Daim to go back, I tak agree. I said no. I said Amir masa tu umur I think 2.5 years ke? Umur tak sampai 3 tahun. Amin was just umur 3 bulan. I said this is not the life that we wanted for this thing. We had a young family. Then So pi balik. And then Daim said to me, when your nation calls on you, you cannot turn your back on your nation. I have to do it. So I said, okay, once they dah make the decision, then I said, okay lah. That was the attitude. Like it's a when your country need you kan, he said you cannot turn. And so at that stage tu, bukan saja to come over and do special functions and all that. But I think when Anwar was sacked, Dr. Mahathir also offered Daim to become Deputy Prime Minister, take over. Daim said, no thank you, And then I remember he was writing the letter, UMNO tradition, Vice President, from Deputy, then you've got 3 Vice President, you cannot tukar lah the tradition of UMNO, you have to keep it and all this lah. Nice letter tapi maksudnya no thank you lah.
Boleh saya cantumkan soalan yang last ni dan yang sebelum ni, iaitu tentang apa yang Tun Daim buat pada ketika nak dilantik semula dan juga hubungan beliau dengan Datuk Seri Anwar dalam the years tu. Because I think we're building up to the question about the rupture. Sebab macam Toh Puan sebut, dia mula dengan pelantikan sebagai pengarah Majlis Tindakan Ekonomi Negara, NEC, in late 1997.
Oh, that was 97.
In December 1997.
Was it December 97, is it? Okay.
December 1997.
So the NEC was first.
Then
for the tugas-tugas khas. Ada dalam pelantikan beliau sebagai pengarah NEC tu, sudah mula sebenarnya bibit-bibit masalah yang antara beliau dan juga Datuk Seri Anwar.
Yeah. Because already started from NEC.
Right.
Anwar selalu cakap dengan Daim, you duk buat NEC tu, you are undermining my position as
MOF.
Ambil kerja dia lah.
Ambil kerja dia as MOF. So Daim said, I'm a working committee. Any report of this working committee pergi balik to the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister and the Cabinet. So you punya position is not affected. Anything yang you ambil from the NEC, you can do whatever you want with it. You are the Finance Minister. I'm not the Finance Minister. I tak ada power pun. But Anwar was very unhappy. Dia kata Daim macam undermine. Yeah.
Tapi adakah tu pun rasa whatever almarhum felt, that maybe this is slightly unfair question, so tell me if it is unfair. Mungkin this is cara Tun Mahathir. Whatever it is that Tun Daim felt, but Tun Mahathir's idea was, I don't really agree with my Finance Minister. I don't yet am ready to push him aside. I'll just put this NEAC.
I don't think I can answer that. I think you
Maybe
need
it
to.
shouldn't be you.
Yes, I think you
ask
need.
Dr. Mahathir.
Yeah, well,
That's right, I think-
another
second
episode.
interview.
That's right. You should call Dr. Mahathir for a second round.
Yeah.